Hi, Noah. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm good, Jill. How you doing?
Good. I just want to share a little bit with the NFL teams about your experience in the XFL. So tell me a little bit about which team you were playing for, what position, your number, and let's just start with that.
Okay. Well, for anybody watching, my name is Noah Borden. I was playing for the XFL Seattle Dragons team, long snapper, and I got to play all 5 games that we had. Unfortunately, that was half the season, but I got to play all 5. It was great. A good 5 games. So
Okay.
I was number 41.
Okay. And so where are you living right now?
Right now, I'm back in Hawaii. Um, when all this stuff happened with the virus, everyone went home. So I'm home with my family. I get to stay here with my wife and my 2 babies, and this is where I get to work out too. We have a lot of workout equipment here, and a lot of grass to do sprinting and snapping and everything. So luckily, I get to keep in shape and keep training while I'm here at home.
Yeah. So what do you think what were the biggest improvements would you say you made like from college to playing in the XFL this year?
Biggest improvement, I think, really is just getting used to the pro style blocking and protection. That was something that I wasn't able to be exposed to in college. We did a lot of spread formations, but being able to play in the XFL, it was pro style punt and punt block. So really getting used to getting the snap back perfect with good timing and being able to get up to block, making all good blocking assignments and everything. That I think was the biggest help actually, and the biggest blessing that I got to experience that. So now I'm familiar with what it takes to get up to block, especially with the pro style and how quick guys get off the line. And so
Okay.
I got to do well, and that was actually a big help and a big improvement.
So what other opportunities did you have besides playing snapper? I know that they used you at other positions. Tell me about those situations.
Absolutely. Well, a lot of the coaches actually really liked me for scout team. I got to jump in a lot with the linebackers. Did a lot of their linebacker drills. I ended up doing the individual period with them pretty much every day. That became part of the normal practice routine. We'd have start with special teams, and I got to jump in on some kickoff and kick return practice squad, the look squad, to give looks. That was fun. I love being able to jump in that. And then right after that, we jumped into individual period. So I got to jump straight in with the linebackers. And a lot of times the coaches would request that I make sure that I'd be there. They say, hey, make sure you're there so we can. I got to jump to the drills with them, and I got to give them a look sometimes when they needed it. So linebacker coaches, Mark Kreiner, and the defensive coordinator, Clayton Lopez, they like to use me a lot. And then
Oh,
even
Mark.
for the offense, they got to use me for scout team too. So
Oh,
whenever they asked, I got to jump in.
oh, Mark Kreiner was your linebacker coach?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh
He
my
was
gosh.
awesome. He was fun.
Yeah, my husband actually worked for his dad, Jim Kreiner, at Iowa State as a GA a long
Oh,
time ago.
nice.
I didn't know
He,
that.
he was fun. He was fun.
Yeah, he's a good guy. That's funny. Okay, so as far as I know, you also provided quite a bit of leadership on your team. How did that happen? And I know you're a natural born leader, but what happened once you started on that team?
Well, that actually was a really cool experience. Towards at the end of training camp, right before the start of season, Coach Jim Zorn, he actually asked the team in our team meeting to vote for captains. And so he initially planned for 3 captains, 1 offense, 1 defense, and 1 special teams. And so everyone wrote down their names, and they announced who the team voted for. There was 1 offensive captain, 1 defensive captain, and then it was split even votes for 2 special teams captains. So we had one was my teammate Keenan Reynolds, and I was the other one. And so they decided to have us both. So there was four team captains, and I was voted as one of the team captains by my teammates.
Oh, that's great. Okay. So tell me a little bit about the games where you feel like I know you snapped in every game. What do you think was, did you think you had a best game or were you pretty consistent? I mean, tell me about those experiences and then we'll show a few clips to talk about some of the games.
Yeah. Overall, I felt consistent, definitely, and that's the name of the game. That's what I have to do to keep my job and to do well to succeed. So overall, over the 5 games, I felt like I was consistent. I I made 3 tackles over the 5 games, so that was fun. That's part of the fun for me is getting down to make tackles. Um, Probably one of the best games tackles wise was Tampa Bay Vipers. I got 2 tackles in that game, and then my best game snapping wise, or all my snaps were right on the hip, was St. Louis Battlehawk. So that was it was good. All 5 games are good, and those are my 2 favorite.
Okay. So I'm going to just share a screen and we're going to go through a couple of the clips. Okay, Noah, I'm just going to show this clip and then you can explain it after.
This is one of my favorites.
Oh, you're going to nail this guy.
Yeah,
Okay, tell me a little bit about that particular clip.
this one, well, obviously it was a good tackle. I mean, it was my actually first tackle of the season, and I got to be one of those that everyone dreams of, catching the punt returner right as they catch the ball. And so, I mean, that in itself, that was so fun. I was envisioning that the night before, and it actually came pretty much exactly how I envisioned it. So that was cool. But actually, a reason I like this for NFL to see is at the beginning of the clip. A lot of guys, when it's a 4x4 protection, and the center is assigned to block one direction or the other. A lot of teams, the snapper will pick the 4 to their side so that the guard can come around and release it to go make the tackle. But Coach Steve Hagan, he loved the way that I could tackle and make plays. So he actually preferred that instead of giving the pick, he would rather have me release and get downfield because he knew that I could make a tackle.
Gotcha.
And so that was one of those good clips where instead of staying on the block, he wanted me to get downfield, and it paid off so that I could be pretty much a third gunner.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay. All right. So now let's look at this clip. This is again Tampa Bay again?
Yes, I believe all these clips are from Tampa Bay.
Okay, Noah, I'm going to show you this play. Tell me a little bit about this play once it's over.
Okay. This is another good one. It was 4x4 at first, so I was sent to the left, and I got to make sure that I had my the A gap on the left and make sure my 4 wasn't a threat. So he wasn't a threat. He went more in the B gap, so I had to check, and then I could release early, like Coach Hagan likes me to do, so I could get downfield. And luckily, Brock Miller is a great punter. So he was really consistent, and he got this ball in a really good location down the field. And something that Coach Hagan liked us to do was just to make sure that we were aware of where we are in the field to be situational masters. So being able to trust in Brock and his punt, knowing that he was going to punt left, I got to release early to be a third gunner, and then got to see the ball and seeing that after it took its first bounce, it was about to bounce backwards. So I got to jump on it and down it right inside the 10. So that was a good team play, and just following everything that Coach asked us to do, and everything went well on that one. So.
Oh, good. All
It's
right.
a good flip the field for our team.
Okay, well, this is another play against Tampa. Are these all the same game?
Yes, these are all the same game.
Okay. All right.
So this was a 8-man box. It was 4x4, but the right side linebacker was up. So the PP sent me to the left.
Mm-hmm.
PP sent me to the left, so I have the 4 on the left. He wasn't much of a threat in my gap, so I didn't really have to worry about him too much. I could get out, release early, and get downfield. And luckily, we had a great coverage team. I was glad to play with these guys. Our gunners were instructed to take a shot when they get down there, and so they did. They did their job perfectly, and I got to the follow up. I was right behind them. So when I got the chip, didn't have to worry too much about the 4 on the left. He was occupied by the guard, so I could release, cover down. The gunner took a shot, which actually slowed up the returner pretty good. And then I got to follow up, check my feet, close in, and make the tackle on that one. So those are part of the reasons where I love jumping in with the linebacker drills. When they do things like that, the footwork, closing the gap, being able to tackle and wrap up. That's the fun. I get to jump in. I get to see it happen in the game. So I'm glad the coaches let me jump in. I could do those drills with the linebackers every day, and it shows up. It shows up in the game.
Yeah. So what else is there anything you would want to add to share with an NFL team? I know you guys are available right now. Anybody who's played in the XFL is available. Is there anything else you want to share with them? Like what do you repeated earlier, you thought your best snapping game was St. Louis?
Yeah. I mean, those were like every snap was perfect. It was on the money, on the time, everything. So it was the most smooth. It was indoor in the dome. So the weather was nice. The kicks were good. The snaps were good. It was a really, really nice game in there, snapping wise. And even they tried to hold me up that game, and I could still get down. I didn't make any tackles, but I did get down and help our coverage team to plug up some gaps. And getting off the blocks, I got to go up against some good hold up guys, but I don't think they won. I mean, I got to get downfield still.
Yeah.
So I try not to ever get held up, so I can at least get down and hopefully make tackles. If not, I can fill up some gaps and help pursue, so that our whole coverage team can help out.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks so much for sharing everything with the NFL teams. And just so any of the NFL teams that are watching this, Noah is ready and available. He's in shape. He had no injuries. And he's a great cover guy and a great snapper, and he's ready to go. So Noah, how can somebody get a hold of you? I know they can call me at 559-250-0151 or email me at jillbaxter@me.com. But how can they get a hold of you if they just want to call you directly?
Yep, you can call me directly. My cell number is 808-772-3525, or my email is k12nobord@gmail.com. So that's k12nobord@gmail.com.
And they also can contact Coach Hagan,
Mm-hmm.
Or Coach Zorn, and Coach Kreiner.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Coach Steve Hagan, Coach Jim Zorn, Mark Kreiner was our linebackers coach. Clayton Lopez was the DC. Our player personnel was Tony Softly.
Okay.
Another one of our team managers was Jim Zorn's daughter. I know she's probably been around too. Danny Zorn. So she is in contact with a lot of us as well. And really any of the coaching staff from the Seattle Dragons. I got to know a lot of them. Larry Kirksey was a receivers coach, and he loved helping me out as well. Yeah, really anybody on that coaching staff, I love being around them. It was a great team, a great environment, and a great staff to be around.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for taking the time out to just have a little interview, and I hope all the teams call you.
Thank you, Jill.